So what's going on, guys? My name's Ash and welcome back to a brand new video. I hope you're all having a fantastic day so far. I'd just like to start off this video by saying thank you guys for your support on yesterday's video. We were talking about why players had such low pace on FIFA 19 such as Arturo Vidal. If you haven't checked it out already, you can go and check it out in the top right hand corner of the screen where there is a link. That would be most appreciated. But in today's video we're going to be talking about why FIFA 19 will be a better game than FIFA 18 in many different ways. Before we get into that though, guys, I would appreciate it if you could drop a thumbs up on the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new so you never miss out on any FIFA 19 content like this. I have a lot planned for you guys when the game drops, such as FUT divisions, formations and custom tactics videos, you know, things to really help you guys with your gameplay. I'll also be uploading things such as shooting tutorials, defending tutorials, all of what we did last year to really help you guys out. But yeah, with that aside guys, let's get into today's video. So I think I speak for everyone when I say FIFA 18 wasn't the best FIFA there is. Don't get me wrong, I'm not claiming it was the worst, but it was far from the best because of the things EA did to the game when it was released. What I mean by this is the game was pretty good at launch, like I had no complaints, but they decided to change it far too much for my liking and many other people, and it just made the game very, very boring. Let's cast back all the way to last September when FIFA 18 was released. The gameplay was very, you know, player based. There wasn't a lot of AI assistance, so you had to do a lot of it yourself. What I mean by this is when you were defending, let's say, the computer wouldn't automatically step in and tackle for you, they wouldn't position themselves as much. It was pretty much down to what you decided to do, whether you would defend, you know, the attack or not. And what this did is it created a really large skill gap because there was a lot more that the player had to do, meaning there was a lot more space for players to learn and grow. And if somebody that was new started playing the game against somebody that was playing the game for 3 months, obviously the player that had been playing for 3 months would have a massive advantage because they'd know how to position all of their players, they'd know how to tackle in what situations, whereas the new player wouldn't have a lot of help at all. I'm sure many of you can remember that were playing in the first couple of weeks of the game. There was like 10+ goal games like nearly every game, and that was purely because, you know, people didn't know how to defend. It wasn't because the gameplay was broken, it was just because people hadn't had the time to learn and adapt to the new gameplay changes that EA made. And there was a lot of players that were getting frustrated at this, mainly casual players, and they were, you know, calling for major change, saying like, you know, their players weren't doing anything, they couldn't defend, that kind of thing, the game was too hard, it wasn't fun, you know, all that stuff. And what ended up happening was within a couple of weeks EA ended up patching the gameplay so, you know, the AI would do more for you, there was less of a skill gap, and it was easier for newer players to get into the game, you know, play it and enjoy it. And as much as I want to criticize this, it made sense for EA to do so, because if people, like the majority of your players, aren't enjoying the game, like 80% of this game is casual players, then it makes sense to change it so that they will enjoy it. So I can understand why they did this, but what it did is it hurt the game in the long run. This is because it limited how much players could grow and improve their skills, meaning like when you got to a certain level, most of the games were down to the computer and luck. And this is what made FIFA 18 extremely frustrating for me, because you just had people that controlled their midfielders and wouldn't touch their backline. Like, I know I made a defending tutorial telling you to use your midfielders and whatnot, but I didn't say solely to just rely on your midfielders, because what people were doing is they'd just run back with, let's say, Bakayoko and just keep, you know, cutting off passes. They wouldn't actually go and win the ball, they would just sit there, and this just led to extremely boring games where people would just pass the ball around the back with no pressure, and, you know, you couldn't do anything about it really. If EA left the gameplay as it was for just like a month or two, people would have began to learn how to defend, they'd have learned how to play, the skill gap would still be there, so, you know, the gameplay would just be so much more fun for everybody if they got into the game. Like, I feel like people need to understand that when you pick up a game, you shouldn't automatically be good at it, you should have to learn how to play it, like that's how it works. This brings me on to my point of why FIFA 19 is going to be better than FIFA 18. The majority of people that have played FIFA 19 at the capture event and in previous events before have said the gameplay is much better than FIFA 18, and you're probably thinking, yeah, they say this every year, they're yes men, whatever. And the God's honest truth is, usually the gameplay is better before they change it. Like, when FIFA 18 was released, it was a really promising game, I really enjoyed it, as did many other people, but then they patched it and the gameplay went went backwards and it felt more like FIFA 17 but worse, and then the game was just terrible. So the people at these events weren't lying when they said the gameplay was better last year. It genuinely was, but they had to change it for some reason. The main difference I've noticed this year is, though, that some of the YouTubers such as AJ3 have talked about, you know, gameplay and if it's changing or not when the game releases, because it's quite like a meme almost in the FIFA community where, you know, people just say, oh, the game's going to change after 2 weeks, it's going to be complete crap, and usually it is. And one of the bigger FIFA YouTubers put up a post saying like FIFA 19 gameplay is better than FIFA 18. I honestly can't remember which one, but it was quite a big one. And then somebody replies like, oh yeah, that is until they patch it after 2 weeks. And they reply saying EA have said that they're not going to do that this year. They're going to make people learn and adapt to the game. I honestly can't remember who put it. If you've seen this tweet, link it to me and I'll you know, show people. Just as I said that, I went on my phone and I saw the tweet from AJ3. It's actually him which says it. He says FIFA 19 gameplay is fire so long as they don't patch it first in the first week, which they said they aren't going to do. It's going to be so good. He must have deleted this tweet because I can't seem to find it anymore, but there you go. He definitely put that, I can confirm, I didn't make that up. But if that is the case, which it seems like it is, then that's a big step forward for FIFA 19, because what you've got to remember is most FIFA games are pretty good at launch. Like, gameplay seems to be decent until they decide to change it and just ruin it. I've seen some early gameplay from FIFA 19 and it genuinely does look like a big improvement from FIFA 18 if they keep it the same. We're going to get the demo next week to play, which is like an earlier build of the game, but we're still going to get, you know, a feel to what it's like. In addition to this, they've added multiple new skills, flicks, first time touches, all of the good stuff, which helps to increase a skill gap and increase variety in gameplay. So, you know, you're going to see different kind of goals. You're not always going to see the same thing. You're going to see a lot more innovation in people's attacks, which is a major reason why FIFA gets so boring after a few months for so many people, because you're always scoring the same goals. It's always like the pass it up a few times in like a zigzag and then into your striker, low driven shot goal. But now we've got like features where you can flick the ball up into the air, like first touch over a player's head. You can do a jump in first touch. You can do all these new skill moves which are really effective, and it's just going to be a lot more refreshing for a lot of people, I do feel. In addition to this, we've also got like new features in Ultimate Team, a new mode in Ultimate Team, Foot Division's Rivals, where you get to play that all week and you're actually playing for something. You're not just playing seasons for like 10k for winning the division. Like, you're actually playing for packs, you're playing for decent rewards, and you're playing against people that are of a similar skill level. Because in FIFA 18, all there really was that was worth playing was sometimes foot drafts, foot champions, and squad battles. Not many people enjoyed playing squad battles, they found it rather boring, and foot champions was on a weekend where it was 40 games, and a lot of people, you know, didn't have the time to do that, and then all they could really play in the week was divisions, and why would anybody play that when the rewards are as bad as they are? So by adding this mode, it gives people a reason to actually want to play in the week, because I can remember like really well last year, I just did not really want to touch FIFA in the week unless I was going to collect my rewards, and it just made, you know, everything really boring because there wasn't actually a lot to do in the week or to make videos on, and nobody really cared about FIFA until the weekends, and even then people weren't really that interested at times. We've also got the Champions League license, timed finishing, and other minor features which could just improve the game that little bit more. We also have a community manager now by the name of Corey Andres, I believe his name is, on Twitter, and he communicates with the community really well, and he'll pass on people's opinions and ideas to the development team. So we actually have, you know, a bit more of a bond between us and EA, so we can actually, you know, tell them what we want, tell them what we want them to change, tell them what we want them to add. And I think this is really important because at the start of FIFA 18 we didn't really have anybody to, you know, talk to about the game or complain about, or, you know, say what they should add, that kind of thing. And that is partly why EA made so many bad changes, because there was no way for them to receive any sort of feedback from us. But towards the end of the year, when they got Corey to be the community manager, I started noticing that they added, you know, things that we were asking for, like repeatable SBCs and stuff. He'd constantly pass feedback about what we were saying, especially the bigger YouTubers, to the development team, and they'd usually go ahead and add it, to be fair to them. But the problem with that was FIFA 18 was already dead. It was already done by the time they'd done this. So if the community team carry on doing stuff like this for FIFA 19, I believe the game could actually be really good because they'll make changes based on what the players want, kind of like what Epic Games do with Fortnite. But yeah, that's about it for this video, guys. If you have enjoyed it or found it informative, I would appreciate it if you could drop a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you are new, so you never miss out on any videos like this one. And don't forget to turn on notifications so you are notified when a video is posted. Also, be sure to let me know down below whether you think FIFA 19 is going to be better than FIFA 18 or if it's going to be worse. Or just let me know, you know, your opinions on it. I do try my best to read every comment, but sometimes it is difficult when I do get quite a lot of them. But yeah, I do try my best. But with all that aside, guys, I hope you've enjoyed the video. Have a great rest of your day, and I will catch you guys later. Peace.